but we call him Itobi.
Your Excellencies, and our dear Father, one, Your Excellency, and my dear elder brother, Jonathan, let me respectfully stand on all due and existing protocols. Where do we start talking of our dear Father, Clark? For somebody like me who has just been part of this 2023 election, he lived a life of courage, a life of sacrifice, a life of justice, a life that is valued. But most importantly, his continued living that life to the end. I listened to my brother Mike when he talked about, may the labor of our heroes past not be in vain. I'm sorry, I'm happy that Jagawan is here, and I'm happy that Jonathan is here. But I can tell you, their sacrifice is in vain. They've sacrificed for nothing. When this country, when people were protesting, when there was no need to protest under Jonathan, where are those protesters? Have they died? Where are they? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? Jonathan increased fuel from 87 naira to 120, and people were protesting in this country. And when it was 900, they were not protesting. Are they dead? So why are we saying it should not be in vain? People protested when naira was 180, and when it was 1,500, they're not protesting. Are they dead? So let's not say it should not be in vain. I spoke a few days ago, and people said I'm demarketing Nigeria. When is truth being demarketed? One bank has just shown that 75% of Nigerians in rural areas are poor. Is one bank demarketing Nigeria? UNICEF 2 days ago released that Nigeria now have over 2 million malnourished children, the second highest in the world. Are they demarketing Nigeria? Let's face the reality. Their labor is in vain. We have a country now that is not democratic. We are not a democratic country. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Is the election that happened in Edo, is it democratic? Just the last election in Edo is the most undemocratic election. Everybody knows who won that election. So why are we keeping it and saying, let their work not be in vain? It is in vain. So we can start picking the pieces now, because they've destroyed everything people have sacrificed for. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Above all, Jaragowan sacrificed everything. The country people sacrifice has turned into a crime scene. All we do today is stealing. You know, and we have to do something. All we need to do, he lived a courageous life. May God Almighty that called him home grant him eternal rest, and grant us the courage to look into what our Father lived for and start picking our pieces. May God bless all of you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Why is this? Just hold on a little bit. Sorry. Okay. Well done, everyone. And I listened to Mr. Peter Obi very well intently throughout the video you just watched. I had listened to it before. I listened to it again, and I took notes because I wanted to talk about the different points that he had made. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start with where Mr. Peter Obi said when there was no need to protest during Jonathan, and I think that is a very wrong allusion to have. that there's a time when there's no need to protest. Let's look at Nigeria, for example. Let's look at countries in other parts of the world, where they're doing very well. People are protesting every day. There is never a time that there's no need to protest. And if Mr. Peter Obi thinks that he's going to get into office and people will not protest, no matter how good he is, no, he should drop that right now. People will protest, and if there's any need, Aisha Yesufu will be on that street. We protest under his government by the grace of God. And so let that be. So there's never a time in any this thing that you say people don't have a need to protest. So, and then come back to the place where Mr. Peter Obi talked about the fact that fuel was 87 naira and it was moved to 100. I just wrote it, 120 naira. That's what Mr. Peter Obi said, and he felt that people did not have a need to protest because later is going now it's 900 naira. What Mr. Peter Obi needs to understand, and also what everybody needs to understand when they make this thing, is that as of that time they were protesting for the 120 against the 120 naira that fuel was. The time of 900 naira was in the future. So nobody is protesting based on future. It's just like maybe now tomorrow people are going to come out and say that, oh, people were coming out to do obedient movement. Where are they now? Things are worse off. If tomorrow things become worse because the people are not doing it. Those are analogies that don't work. That's not the way things are. What you need to look at is that when this 120 naira was put in, how much was fuel during Yaradua? How much was fuel during Obasanjo? How much was fuel during Abdul Salam? If that's the way we want to take it, or are we going to say now that, okay, Buhari moved it up to, was it 400 and something, if I'm not mistaken? Does that mean that Buhari's time is good now because Tinubu has moved it to almost 900 naira? So those things don't work. As of that time, there was a problem and people stood up to speak about it. Personally, for me, on the issue of that particular protest, I was never part of it. The reason why I was not part of it was because I wanted subsidy to be removed. And so when former President Jonathan removed the subsidy, for me it was a big, huge thing. I was like, finally, thank God, this thing, has been done. But nonetheless, I was very happy that Nigerians have gotten their voices and they could come together, Nigerian youth, all over the country and speak on an issue, which is what we are looking for all the time. So we cannot say that, oh, when people protest because we didn't want the protest to happen and we say no, or say during Jonathan. If there was any time that protest needed to happen, it was during Jonathan, compared to what had been coming on. And then the fact that others have worsened, and then when Mr. Peter Obi, and I see this argument being made a lot, why are they not protesting? Are they there? No, they are not there. They are waiting for those that did not protest. Those of you that did not protest then to come and protest now, because they that protested, they've been attacked, they've been maligned, they've been called all sorts of names. The same way that the people who protested, and this is one thing I want to tell Mr. Peter Obi and every other person, the people who protested for the fuel were also the people who protested for Jonathan to be made acting president. So they were right when they protested for Jonathan to be made acting president, and then they were wrong when they protested against Jonathan increasing the fuel. We can't have protests based on what it is that we suit us. Just like I see a lot of politicians today, we say Nigerian youth are lazy, they do not do this, they only complain online, they will not come out and because they need protests that suit them. But when they don't need protests that suit them, then it doesn't go that way. That's absolutely not the way that it should be. So for me, I don't agree with that, and I will always say it. And then, what was the other issue? Okay, some of the other protests that happened. I protested during former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and it wasn't an easy protest. I had bullets pointed at me. I had guns pointed. I will never forget February 2015. I actually thought they were going to kill me. There are even tweets that I have out there where I said to people, if we die, please continue the fight. You understand? Even though some people today we try to say that, President Jonathan signed that during the stand protest they were no, it's because you guys were not protesting. That was why you didn't know the suffering that we're going through. As a member of the Bring Back Our Girls movement, I protested, and the same thing that was done in NSAS was done to us literally, other than the killing of the NSAS. Even though that same protest of fuel that Mr. Peter Obi referenced here, Jonathan people were killed during Jonathan. Yeah, police killed people, protesters were killed. So is it right for protesters to be killed? No, absolutely not. It's not right for protesters, to be killed. I protested during Jonathan. I protested during Buhari, and I've refused. And I said I'm not going to protest during Tinubu. I'm not dead, but because Tinubu, I don't recognize him as a president. This is an illegitimate administration. And when you protest, when you come out to protest, and for me, this one is for me personally that I'm speaking of. For when you come out to protest, it means you believe in that thing. If I come out to protest under this administration, I'm protesting to who the Tinubu's administration to solve one thing or the other. That means I recognize for me, that means I'm legitimizing an illegitimacy. And I will never do that. That's absolute nonsense. I'm not going to do it. And right from beginning, even before Tinubu was sworn into office for this is illegitimate administration, that question, they had asked me that question, oh, are you going to protest? And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to protest because I don't recognize him. I can only protest under a government that I recognize. And for me, my business is to ensure that the political rug is pulled off their feet. The only protest you will find me going out to protest in this time is when Nigerians are ready and will say we are protesting to go and remove Tinubu from office. That protest, bam, I'll gladly be part of it because it's not. And by the way, for whatever DSS or whatever it is that you people call yourself, a protest is a legitimate way of removing a government. Yes, when you're tired, you come out as people and protest and say, no, we don't want you anymore. It's also part of it. Demands for that to be done. And so I've always made up my mind about that. And so to ask whether the protesters are dead or whatever, though there are no people who are hired to protest on behalf of anybody. You understand? Everybody as a Nigerian, when you see something that is wrong, go out and protest. And so for me, like I always say to people, they are waiting for it. Since they've been abused. People that did occupy Nigeria, people that did even 20 change in 2015, people that they've been abused all this while. Most of them have said, okay, some have decided not to. Some are still protesting, even though people don't want to see that they are protesting. Some are still talking, some are still doing all of those things. The thing is that they are not your protester, whatever, hired to protesters. No. If you find anything that is wrong, go out and protest. If you think that the 900 naira is too much a price to pay, go out and protest. Maybe 120 was it 120 price to pay? And 900 is okay with them. For those who are not okay with 900, go out and protest. Everybody has a right to protest at every time and on whatever reason that they want to protest, and nobody owes anybody, a protest. That's to say that. And then, of course, coming to the Edo election, okay, now, yeah, it's not democracy. That was not democracy that was done. And the danger of this thing that we keep attacking people who have protested before is that people don't want to protest now. So they will now come out and go and protest for Edo election. Then tomorrow there will be a worse election, and then somebody will now be asking them, where are those people that protested against Edo election in 2020? Is it 2020? Oh, it was 2023 that they did the election. 2023. Why are they not protesting? Are they dead? That's what we've put on ground. And so people are wary. And that's why even when it comes to election, a lot of people are wary. They don't want to come out and actually, put themselves out there and say who they are voting for. See how people were attacked in 2015. And for me, when I see this whole issue of, the coalition being formed, I'm like, that was what happened in 2015. People didn't want the people that eventually got the ticket to run. But because they felt, okay, this might be the choice we have, because of how bad things were. What people must understand is that stop looking at 2014, 2015, Jonathan's time, and comparing it with Buhari and Tinubu's time. Compare it with Yar'Adua and Obasanjo, because that was where we were coming from. It's just like now, somebody you cannot come and compare Buhari's time to Tinubu's time and say that, oh, because Tinubu's time is worse now, then Buhari did well. How? Because Tinubu's time is in the future. Tinubu's legitimate administration is in the future. Buhari's time was what they had then. You can compare Tinubu to Buhari, but you can't compare Buhari to Tinubu. Just the way you can compare Buhari to Jonathan, but you can't compare Jonathan to Buhari, because during Jonathan's time there was no Buhari's time, but during Buhari's time there was a Jonathan's time. So you can look at Buhari and say things were worse under your own time, like the issue of what do you call this thing now? The money exchange, the issue of forex exchange. Yes, people complain. It went to 200 or something. It didn't just stop at 180. No, it went to 200 and something, and in a very short time. That was why APC even used it in their campaign, that see how dollar have moved. So nobody can come now and say to people that, why are you not, you now compare Jonathan to Buhari's time. You can't do that. You can only compare Jonathan's time with Yar'Adua's time, with Obasanjo's time, like I said earlier. Then it is Buhari's time that you now use to compare with Jonathan's time, because there was already a Jonathan. You can say to Buhari, oh, you took dollar to 7 something. You took dollar to 400 naira. You took it to 700. I think it was still 400 and something naira officially, but on the black market it had gone to 790 or 7 something. I can't remember now. And then you can say that and say to Buhari, but Jonathan, it didn't pass to something. Yes, just the same way you cannot compare Buhari to Tinubu's illegitimate administration, but you can compare Tinubu's illegitimate administration to Buhari's illegitimate administration. You cannot come now and say to Buhari, or when you're talking about Buhari, and say, oh, Jonathan made it, Tinubu made it worse. It's now 1,500 during Tinubu, but during Jonathan, no. But during Buhari, no. Because during Buhari, there was no Tinubu. So it is Buhari. We will compare Buhari with Jonathan's administration. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. So this thing that is constantly being done and telling people that, oh, the future had become worse, why are they not doing this in the future, is the same reason that is going to kill a lot of people and stop them from doing things, because there's probably in the future somebody is going to come and start blaming me. So let me not even take action right now. At the time that Jonathan was there was a lot of reasons why they were supposed to be protests. A lot of reasons why they were supposed to be protests. And I don't even want to go on it. That would be a whole video if I'm going to sit down to start analyzing for you all the things why this we're going to be protest. The same election that Mr. Peter Obi had spoken about earlier is to say that, look, during militarization of elections started during Jonathan. Jonathan is the one that taught people how to pack military and go and put them, pack security and go and put them in one state. He did that in, I think it was Ekiti Osun election. Remember Obanikoro, the role Obanikoro played, the Major Momo, General Momo, what that person was called. Those are the things that were there. The thing is that APC now learned from them and added Jara. I always tell people there's nothing that APC are doing that they did not learn from Jonathan. Is it to kill people at protests? Is it to use thugs to go and attack protesters? Is it to attack the National Assembly? December 2014, the National Assembly was attacked. The Speaker of the House of Representatives was tear gas. That was when you have this person that is now the what do they call them? What do they call chief of staff to Tinubu right now? That was how you saw him climbing over the fence. So these are things that happen, and they say tell us that, oh, there was no reason to protest during Jonathan. There were a lot of reasons that we needed to protest during Jonathan, and people did protest during Jonathan, and those people, no, they're not dead, but they don't owe anybody a protest. For those who now see, then the people, you didn't see any reason to protest that. Now that you see a reason to protest, come out and protest, and people are ready to follow you. They will follow you. For those who keep saying that, oh, where are those people saw a reason to protest when you didn't see a reason to protest, and now that you have a reason to protest, come out and protest and get the people, that we do the protests going on. And on the case of the market, let me just laugh on that one. I just Mr. Peter Obi's remark at, is it John Hopkins? It really rattled this illegitimate administration. They were all out. They sent out the big guns. I saw even the governor of Lagos State coming out to take a swipe at Mr. Peter Obi. Which is to say about the market. Like he said, truth is not the marketing. It is what it is. He said what he said. Things are bad and things are bad. And even if you're talking about the market, what about the ones that Tinubu himself has gone out to make against, when he said that he was speaking the truth? And on the issue of UNICEF, we see it over 2 million malnourished people. I know I did a video on that a long time. I think that was last year. I think I did a video on that 2024 or late 2023 on this whole UNICEF thing and whatever. It's just really crazy. But at the end of the day, you know, let's get this. And for those who are going to carry this, oh, Aisha has done this. Let me tell you something. In this country, it's all about the country. For me, there is nobody. I've said things the way they are. I'm never on anybody's side. I'm on the side of truth and justice, and I will say it too. And anybody who want drag me, please feel free and energy to do it. So just know that, and there's nobody that will be in office. You get into office, and I will not say things. I will see things are going anyhow. I will not say it. I will. Even me, if it's possible, if I'm in office and I'm doing anyhow, I will protest against myself. But I say, Aisha, your head no correct. You know, go do what you're supposed to. But so, thank you very much for watching.